Once more I emerge into the world of the living. This time, it occurs to me as a result of dwelling upon the past immediately behind us that there is one thing that we haven't properly given the attention that deserve. Namely, we have a new item which has been presented to us as a wonderful, wonderful reward for a certain quest. This Erd steel dagger has a grass crest engraved upon its blade and is carried by Erd tree royalty for self-defense in times of peace. Though forged to a high standard, the weapon itself is difficult to wield, and its attack power scales with faith. This has some very intriguing implications. Namely, our dear friend Kenneth Haight is most reasonable in his claim that he is the second in line to inherit Limgrave, insofar as that would mean he would have to be of a royal lineage. Specifically, he would have to be of one other than the Golden lineage, given we have that lineage only having a certain Godric remaining, according to what everything up till now has been saying. As such, Haight now has a clearly evidenced not only bias against Godric, but reason to want to get Godric dethroned, insofar as he is of a rival house, it would seem. But I do not believe this actually constitutes enough reason to think he's being unreasonable in his statements. I think he's been very truthful with us in general. It's simply a factor of world building that we'll have to consider in these days to come. There is some sort of alternative bloodline going on from that of the Golden lineage, which previously had rule in these lands. Of course, we have yet to fully figure out what exactly the Golden lineage actually is. So that, too, remains a task before us. 2 royal households, at least. In addition to that of Caria, which is not under the Erd Tree's control, it would seem, or at the very least, is in a position to still claim its own royal house outside of that of the Erd Tree. See, this house that we can see on the soldier's emblem is marked with the Erd Tree as well as a golden lion. And we know what this golden lion represents, as we happen to have this wonderful golden beast crest shield, which has Sarosh upon it, suggesting an emblem of a lion must have come together with that of the Erd Tree to form the Golden lineage. So the Golden lineage is a union between 2 houses, more than likely. If in fact it's the case that we take into account what the Golden lineage currently is, at the very least. That having been said, we don't really have much in the way of options to expand this information. As of now, so we must acquire additional knowledge. Our knowledge is incomplete, and thus our quest is to acquire as much of it as possible. Such has been the case from the beginning, but especially now that we'll be beginning to get a taste for politics. That having been said, our quest for information seems to have been thus far well served via our elimination of targets that have been established for us by NPCs we have met. And we have at least 2 other. The one which I think I shall deal with the one whose problems is that of a certain warrior on the lake over this way, who seems to be camping out in front of the lair of a dragon. He has discouraged us from going out and engaging with it, perhaps desiring... Oh dear. Oh, there's some sort of dungeon there. I might have to seek that out. Anyway, as I was saying, our goal shall be this time seeking out the warrior who happens to be south of the lake known as Agheel, speaking with him and considering the matter of the dragon. The dragon that he most likely actually has an interest in slaying himself, but which we shall go and slip forth to slay preemptively. See, he's advised us that we would be crazy to actually confront said dragon. But, while that might be the case, for indeed we are a little bit crazy, it is also the case that that is a challenge which we are quite interested in. And maybe it might even be so that both of us can work to take it down together. In the meantime, I will explore this lake and see what I can find of it, as I'm sure there are lots of interesting things, especially since there are ruins in its midst. Rather than crossing this bridge and confronting all of the enemies over there, however, I think I'll just skip past down this way. For after all, I do know that it's the case that that NPC is right over here. Under this curving structure. Now then, let's recall precisely what he has said up till now. He immediately recognized us as one of the new Tarnished, and called us fledglings, suggesting he thought of us as birds of the feather. Then he suggested a dragon roosts in the lake, meaning he habitually thinks of dragons and Tarnished in the same sort of light. He questions our sanity as he senses the desires rise within us to hunt the majestic, fearsome creature, and questions if we want to be burned alive, before advising that we steer clear of the lake. Let's see if he has any more to say before we go into the lake and investigate the ruins therein.
Don't be a fool. Turn back before it's too late.
I thank you, but I think I shall in fact do so. I will return at a later time. Let's see. Oh, that ruin is smoldering. Interesting little bit that demarks it as special. It seems to be quite broken apart, as if something has historically attacked it, and there are lots of burnt trees, along with a couple of them that just barely have leaves upon them still. Let's clear out some distractions first. Thank you. Goodbye, Carian mercenary. Ha ha ha! Okay, what is this? This crab doesn't like me. I think I should give it a taste of something to properly dislike. Goodbye, crab. Goodbye. Strip of white flesh. Let's see what we have here. Thin strips of white flesh from a bloodless creature. Material used for crafting items. The dried meat toughens the constitution, raising resistance. It's known for its long-lasting effects. But this is not dried. It's dripping with gold, it would seem. Not blood, but runes that it has absorbed, perhaps. Eggs of large crabs which dwell in the shallows. Materials used for crafting items. Nutritious foodstuff that warms from within. The flavor is exquisite. Only those of comfort and means know the truth. A crab's eggs are more delectable than its meat. I suppose that might be because of the fact that there's no redness in the meat. The redness probably adds quite a bit of flavor, considering you have nice bits of iron and protein in there. The lack of blood, though, is very, very strange. Why would this creature not have blood? These look like they could be a nuisance, but they have something interesting beside them, so first, let's eliminate them. A great stone mausoleum almost, but without any walls. A chest upon a platform which is actually a coffin. A sarcophagus, you might say. And yet there's a corpse outside rather than in. Oh dear, poison buildup is not something that we want. Oh no! I don't think I have anything to restore myself from poison. These little pieces of garbage. This is not good. At least they restore my healing capacity, however. And let's find out what it is inside of this. Dark red leaves with thick, swollen veins. Material used for crafting items exceedingly rare to find. A faint pulse can be felt in the veins. Stirs the blood, providing an enlivening effect. It seems as if this was placed here, possibly with the intent of trying to revive the corpse in here, as if a sacred offering to see the dead be brought into the land of the living. Very, very curious. So, there's an underpass over there. We don't want that. In fact, let's just focus on the ruins for now. Okay, we have an outer wall which should have closed up here. Dog! Dangerous, these hunting hounds. Especially when one is already poisoned. This ought to have closed up with just a little passageway there. This should be an enclosed room, which means this would close up here, but a rock has fallen in the way. This room opened up here. A very large complex, which seems to have a singular design. Oh hey, a corpse. Oh dear. I'm almost at the end of my rope. But at least I'm no longer poisoned. Crab eggs, as one would expect in this crab-infested area. That is a much larger opening. Dear oh dear. Ha ha! You shall not take me this day, hunter. Someone is chanting in the background, sounding as if there's a religious experience going on here. Ruins of some sort of large church compound, perhaps? This seems to be an external wall and a corner. This is a singular room. In this area, we might have another entrance. This may be another entrance as well. That would be a little bit strange. No, this is a wall blocking this area off. So, let's see. This is a large entrance area. Would have been coming from over there. So this is probably the main entrance. You might even have seen... Oh, Agheel, burn true. Feral flame of Agheel.
Feral flame of Agheel.
So they think there is some sort of wild beast here. That is an interesting characterization. As is this. That dog has a collar, it would seem, and is on friendly terms with the people in here, as you might expect. A rat! They're just letting a rat remain in their compound? Disturbing business. This tree has intersected this wall and broken a good chunk of it off on that side. Now we proceed further inward. Okay. What have you, old... Yes! Oh, that was so dangerous. Oh, that is a rather nice collar. Golden and with red gems. I guess the fact that there are so many noblemen here explains that. The dogs are very well cared for, relatively speaking. Beast blood. Fresh beast blood glinting with gold. Material used for crafting found on carnivorous beasts. This glimmering blood never rots or decays. I feel almost bad killing someone's pet like that. But what do you have for me, oh noble sorcerer? Stone sword key. So it didn't lie, there was a key ahead. Okay. This would appear to be another entrance. Oh. And a Trina's lily.
Feral flame of Agheel.
So Rena the Witch wishes that I pay attention here.
Feral flame of Agheel.
This person is kneeling before this watery area. All of them seem to be devoted towards the prospect of this flame being invoked. Okay. I think, based on the fact that this is the position that Trina's lilies can be seen in, Trina is wanting us to pay attention to, because there are two also. Both the fact that these chanting people are seeking their own demise by the flames of what I'm sure is actually the dragon, and the fact that this place has
Feral flame of Agheel.
smoldering tip here, as if the dragon is the source of this ruin. Flee, flee, craven one. What have you for me? Oh, noble sorcerer who has died, and wears a crown much like the collar of these dogs. Golden rune 2. Ah. So the Trina's lily is pointing me to here. And to the fact that there is this entrance leading downwards in the midst of their congregation. Is there anything else that can be seen from here? Ah! You can see a pyre over there. There are people on a stake in a surrounding congregation which must be related to this one, standing and awaiting. Probably trying to actually encourage the dragon to come over there, just like these ones are. Oh, you've got fire, so you are brave, hey? Shall not ward off me. I am not some shadow to be banished by flame. Smoldering butterflies remain in their midst. Source of kindling. Indeed, they truly do have that sense of fiery desire. Feel free to fear, feel free to run. Ah, this is not good. Okay. Well, that has done me well. Most excellent job, little rats. Thank you for paving the way forward to my good health. Now let's count things out. 2, 3, 4. Is that 5? Five rats slain in this rat pile. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 flames, including this central flame here. So that means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 on the periphery. But also 2 over here for some reason. 9 or 11. Or 9 plus 5 equals 14. Symbol of the moon. Someone died as a result of the rats. But let's see what this can bring. Ah! What the? What is that? A trap? A resetting one as well. That is disturbing. So the flame and the rats were a warning. There's evil in this place. Some sort of corruptive nonsense. Maybe a symbol of madness that has taken these men. And now all that remains is to check the outer perimeter. This clearly was part of that building as well. Curious. No entrance because of the funny little tree over there, but another secret way. No rat ahead. Well, let's see if there's something better than rats. Oh, what are you? Twin blade? A sword with blades on both sides of the hilt. This weapon is difficult to wield and demands high dexterity. Can be wielded in a single hand, but its true strength is unlocked with dual-handed spinning attacks. Skill associated, spinning slash. Most intriguing. Most intriguing indeed. Feels like there's something of significance to that being here. Seems also relevant to bring up the fact that this noble's estoc has a silvery handle and golden blade, and the twin blade has a golden blade on one side and silver on the other. Dexterity 18. So close, yet so far away. This is another separate room. One which would have been part of a larger corridor going on here. Hello, friendly dog. Sorry, but you are the weaker link. I think that is all that is of interest in this region. Ah! Another dog to be wary of. You would dare? I shall not even humor you. Let's see, I remember that place. I've already gotten everything from there. Now, I might want at some point to pay attention to that, as it might well actually get Agheel's attention. But first, I do remember there's a place over here that is of interest, so I shall proceed this way. Sorry for disturbing you, Crab. A tunnel, it says. A lotus. That is an interesting motif. Especially since it looks like it has some sort of beak coming out of it. Yes, that seems to be some sort of solar bird. A phoenix, one might say. Incredibly curious. I don't think I've seen one of those before. And the green coloration is quite striking as well. Whoop! There's places that I need to go. Quite clever, these people think they are. A relatively empty area. With no hidden place to speak of, but a cave-in and a dead miner, perhaps. With Golden Rune 4. What a lovely bounty. Seems there's another place that's worth reaching. I should really level myself up. Let's see how much it takes. Okay, I might be able to... Yes. And I'll put one more into that, I think. Just so it's possible for me to wield the twin blade. And there we go. Let's actually take a look at this. A very intriguing sort of primitive bronze construction here. It doesn't look quite so clearly gold on one side and silver on the other as it's in my hand, but it does actually still have the same sheen situation going on. There's a gray sheen on the front side and a slightly golden sheen on the back. It does advertise correctly. It is much more fluid and reasonable this way. There we go. Suppose I shall have to take out my torch. I dislike being on heavy load like this. There. No. Well, it's good to know about all those paths, and I have been taught a valuable lesson. It is sometimes worth investigating these mine shafts for other options. Smithing stone mine. Very fancy and useful. Hello there, friend. Dear, oh dear. This shall be hard to manage. I'll have to be very careful about how I proceed in general. Well, that turned out much better than it could have. Good, 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 good. And while I dread continuing on further on this path, I shall do so after eliminating this trog. Very, very dim area. Smithing stone on the miner. Down amidst the rats, as to be expected. I wonder how these giant rats have been tolerated in these areas, though. It strikes me as quite the problem. You think the miners would seek to eliminate it? Maybe they breed too fast. And I will make sure to check for any diversions along the way. would seem there are other such areas. But unfortunately, that area is not likely to be accessible from here. Which means I'll have to continue further down, then go back up. At least it reinforces the need to actually make these trips, but goodness. It is quite awkward to be in that sort of situation. It would seem that one or more of them caught on to my gambit there, but not soon enough. Though, goodness, they are slow. Ah, sees a corpse, decides just to return. Good for them. I am glad these are such dullards. Ah! Caught me on fire, did it? Oh. Glintstone scrap. Why would glintstone be down here? No. This is a smithing stone mine. Very unusual. Let's see what this says. Large pickaxe designed to crack thick bedrock. Tool of the sturdy miners. Not originally designed as a weapon, but very adept at piercing armor. Little wretches, you think your armor harder than stone? Seems like it would be effective against the stony skin of the miners. Shame I don't really have the strength for it. Can't even equip it. Piece of glintstone tinged with unstable magic. Found in crystal tunnels. This is not a crystal tunnel. I guess it was found anyway. Break the gem using FP to produce a magical bolt. Poor quality and thereby easily broken. A sorcerer wouldn't give it a second look. And so I shan't. But it's good to note, regardless. Come on. You would sit back down after being struck. Oh, you're playing coy with me. I can respect that. Shame you seem to be blinded. Oh my goodness, fire! They are much less impervious to magic. I may have to rely upon that in the near future. No! Well, at least there was the stake of Nerica right there. No, indeed. Oh, 2 pickaxes now. Now that is that. And I think I shall take this third one, despite the fact I haven't properly explored the other 2 areas yet. That is strange. But a body has been discovered. Golden Rune 1. Similar to that first one. Somber smithing stone. Ooh. A smithing stone drained of color found here in these most mysterious mines. That might be extremely useful since I now have 1 and 2. And now, here we go. Okay. There would appear to be a massive troll in there, which is also covered with stone just like the miners. Oh, goody. Shovels. Well, I suppose I'll have to do my best. Let's see if the magic weakness is the same for this one. Oh dear. No! So close. What are these? Fragments of some golden ore. Farewell, Stone Digger Troll. You were a worthy foe, but not one which could take me down properly. Now, what is this? No, I suppose you can't. Let's see. This... That's iron there. This is gold. Ah! That must mean... This is a meteorite. Yes. And that, in turn, would suggest that this is what they were mining for. That those chunks of smithing stone, actually, they do have gold. Yes, and they look somewhat like these scattered rocks on the edge here. That could be it. Smithing stone might be remnants of ancient meteorites. And in turn, if I'm remembering the conversation with Selen properly, this could mean such a meteorite is in fact a star with the golden amber of the cosmos. But I don't think this one became an urge tree. I wonder what circumstances control such a thing. Oh well. Maybe that could be taken as a point against the theory that I put forth. If the Erd tree was a fallen star, it should have been one similar to this. But I don't see any signs of it causing growth going upwards. I guess I'll have to table that until further evidence might dissuade me. Or persuade me otherwise, I should say. But there is still yet a little bit to explore here. There is one area which I have not yet gone. Right down here. There is a dog. This is far too confined a state for dogs. Now let's see. Ah. The man didn't even take notice to his dogs perishing. What a shame. Goodbye. Well, a trap, not a liar. Hello, corpse. Large glintstone scrap. Goodness. What happened here? That would appear to be a different color. these miners are too difficult. No, just another smithing stone. There is one down here. What ladder? What ladder? And no way through here. I believe that's it. I'll just go back down to the bottom and take that teleportation branch. Or head back to the troll's chamber, since that's not actually the bottom. Oh, whoops. That was not the right way. Went the opposite direction. It's a good thing these levers are here. I think yes. There you are. Here I go to the bottom. And I think, oh yes, this is the very bottom of the mine. Let's find out what's above this place. No, I don't see a minor erd tree or anything. Oh, dear. Well, there's their Agheel. Didn't burn them like it wanted, though. Oh, like they wanted. Oh, it spotted me. Similar to the fires of the miners. And that makes things very difficult. Oh, so you give me your fire, but not them, huh? I'll have to learn this dragon a little bit more carefully. But first, let's see what our good friend has to say. Since he's right over here. Might as well let him gloat.
You bloody half-wit. Picking a fight with a dragon. Well, I can tell you want to see it through. Seems I'm forever crossing paths with hotheads like you. I can tell you want to see it through. Fools will be fools. Fight all the dragons you like.
I'd like to think that well, while I am half blind, I am possessed of more than half a wit. I can certainly understand why you might form that impression, though. I am a bit of a stubborn hothead, as you say. But thank you for the encouragement. I'll take that in mind. Oh, those are called the Dragon-Burnt Ruins, are they? There you are. Yura, hunter of bloody fingers. That is the man's name. It could mean skilled, kind, outstanding, or harmonious. Virtuous, gentle, good, or wise. If from a different origin. It could mean... But if from a different origin, say not of the land of reeds, it could mean farmer, earthworker, tree, shrub, plant, or cloud. Dear, oh dear. I guess this is why they're so dragon-burnt. Oh dear. Sorry, Yura. Well, thank you for eliminating that dog. I've brought your friend Agheel. I'll have to learn to be a bit more careful there. Hello, my friend. What? What? Yura has abandoned me. And the dragon teleported back over here. Most peculiar. Believe I've begun to get the measure of you, Agheel. And your time is at hand, oh feathery gray beast. There you are. Great enemy failed. And a dragon heart acquired. A new draconic power is available at the Cathedral of Dragon Communion. Why do I suddenly know this? Knowledge has invaded my mind. Perhaps if I speak to Yura, he'll know a little bit about this most distressing event. Oh. This is homeward yearning. And it's an incantation scarab. Scarabs are attracted to minor erd trees. It wants to go home. I see. The painter captured that longing to return. That longing to go to this great big beacon waiting for it. A golden scarab that is worn directly on the head. Scarabs roll clumps of incantations during their labors. Slightly reduces the FP cost of incantations, but increases the damage taken. As a scarab approaches its death, it abandons its rolled treasures and stretches its wings wide for a long journey to its home nest. Just like the Tarnished, who once long marched out into the world and then were called back to return by the grace of the Erd Tree. I will have to make my way over there sometime soon. That is a most fitting challenge. But not yet. I must inform Yura. Oh, the bats are so much easier. Thank you, O wise one, for cheering me on. And for pointing me to this flame. I still have yet to understand why the fires continue to burn. But it is an intriguing mystery which I shall figure out one day. Yura is in sight now. There you are, my friend.
There you are. That was my first dragon hunt in quite some time. Paired up with a hothead like you. It was just like old times. Now that you've so impressively felled that dragon, there's something you should know. The heart you brought back. It's used in Dragon Communion. If you should find yourself overcome by hunger for the heart, yearning for its strength, then seek the decrepit church on the little island off the western coast.
I see. But just like old times, eh? As I suspected, he spoke of the dragon's ferocity from experience. He must have had a partner or a team that he used to hunt dragons with. Thus we can indeed be compared. Both dragon and tarnished can be fearsome and majestic in equal measure. That he describes the act of partaking in the heart of a dragon as something which must be done in a special ritual at a church dedicated to this is most intriguing, though, because it highlights his now even more clear nature as a man foreign to these lands in cultural heritage. After all, beyond his strange garb and use of a katana, he is now professing to us a foreign religion. And because this church has somehow ended up here, despite the fact that it is so seemingly distinct in its espoused beliefs from Erdtree worship as well. After all, this man surely is teaching us his faith's tenets with his words, sees dragons and humans as kindred, and believes that dragons can survive having their hearts cut out to a strong enough degree that, well, the act of devouring said heart can somehow allow a human to link themselves with it. Communion is defined by sharing thoughts and feelings on a spiritual level. It is what we do with Melina when she turns our runes into strength. Such is a sacred act which can only possibly be accomplished if the communing individual can make contact with a spiritual presence. And so Yura must believe that a dragon's spirit is anchored to its heart. Dragon heart seized by a dragon tracker. Riddled with gravelstone, this grotesque organ continues to beat vivaciously.
You must not forget, though, those who partake in dragon communion will one day shed their humanity, their hunger for dragon, their yearning only worsens until the floodgates burst, unleashing eternal torment. The strength of a mighty dragon. Magnificent, but deadly. It's no surprise that dragon communion is ruinous.
That he suggests this then leads to shedding of humanity, invokes the idea of a snake shedding its skin. But also suggests something else. The dragon spirit takes root in the communer's flesh. Once the core of its former self has been devoured, and will slowly feast upon the one who defeated it, and shape them into its image. The strength of a mighty dragon comes at the cost of birthing one anew as the parasite's host. Thus are the old Carian sage's words proven true. He who fights long against dragons becomes a dragon himself. Thus the worm never truly dies. No surprise that dragon communion is ruinous indeed, my friend. Indeed. Thank you for warning me before I was to be tempted by that devil's bargain. I hope it is not too late for you, and that it is just that you lost a friend to this business, as cruel as that may sound. This was a rough go of things. To find out that my friend might be being devoured as we speak by a dragon, one that he ate in turn for its strength. A dreadful business, that. One that cannot be helped now. Does only us that can avoid this. And with that in mind, we shall head down to figure out where this Church of Dragon Communion might be. Should be somewhere along the coast. So, let's see what we can find down there. There should be a passage to the coast right over this way. Right beyond these demi-humans. Down here. Oh, that's a rather sheer drop-off. See if we can't find a different path. Oh! I meant you no harm! I didn't even take your loot. But I will take back my runes. And this. Let's see. That way is the beach, but I can't make it by that path. A land octopus. Why would one be all the way up here? Oh, they too have strips of white flesh. Bloodless creatures. That more and more speaks to some sort of strange and ominous situation. That should have it. What? Oh, 22? I didn't remember correctly. I have a ways to go. Okay. Aha! A white wolf? I thought that for sure that was closer, but no. That will be difficult to get to. Oh, but this... Wait. Oh, that was the same. Do-da-da-da. I thought I saw something. No, it's not there. Oh dear. And what is that? I'll have to investigate. Ah, it was a message. A tall man. Very tall. Wearing, very minimal clothing. Stony, reflective skin. With silver. As if he's actually made of rock. As if there are veins coming through. Greetings. Oh! Good sort indeed. But a bit jumpy. Purple pull and push magic, huh? What? Oh dear. Why was he so aggressive? That is a sort of magic I have never seen before, though. I am most intrigued. And there we go. Apologies, my friend, but you started it. Oh? His belt looks very much like the crown of an Erdtree noble. Or collar of one of the dogs. Ash of War Gravitas. The Ash of War grants an armament the magic affinity and the following skills. Gravitas, a skill originating from alabaster lords who had skin of stone. Thrust the armament into the ground to create gravity well. In addition to dealing damage, this attack pulls enemies in. Usable on melee armaments. Small armaments and whips accepted. I see. So that must be what you are, Alabaster Lord. You were certainly worthy of the challenge. Worthy of the title. Cave indeed. Thank you, friends. First, I will explore a little bit more along these lines here, though. It is extremely curious that one of these great columns which build up the world has fallen over. And so thoroughly as well. I don't think I could make that jump. This feels almost designed to get me killed. Lump of flesh. That man found meat amongst the crabs. Or the crabs killed him for his meat. That it says here again. Oh. The Holy Dragon Talisman. There are holy dragons, are there? Talisman depicting a golden ancient dragon. Boosts holy damage negation. The ancient dragons who ruled in the prehistoric era before the Erd Tree would protect their lord as a wall of living rock. And so it is that the shape of the dragon has become symbolic of all manner of protections. We already knew of this, but that is some very good information. And it is very intriguing that this cave led out there. Was this the means? I see. We must have washed up ashore here and been struck all the way inland by a wave and thrown into there. It's the only way I could see to actually be placed within that area. Unless, of course, someone carried us. The Alabaster Lord didn't seem too hospitable, however. I doubt he was one who aided us in that way. But what I now know is this is not the correct coastal cave. And therefore, I'll have to look at my map. Ah, here. That must be where we must go. So next time, as I am feeling quite tired and think that I shall be falling into an abyss of slumber soon, Next time, I'll have to go to that coast. And I think I'll pay a visit to that friend of mine. What was his name? Bach. Yes.